My friends, I'm listening to a podcast that's called Stuff You Should Know. And they're talking about solar. And man, if you are in that industry, you got to police up your people. Jeez, man. It's kind of like financial advisors need to police up our people. This is just embarrassing. The going back and forth between energy and electricity, that's a pretty common mistake. But photovoltaic is not energy, or it's a subset of energy called electricity. That is your electricity. So a solar panel that you're putting on your rooftop, that's photovoltaic, is converting the sun's energy into electricity. That's what it does, all right? So that's first and foremost. It does not create energy that, I guess you could use it, but you're not going to heat your home with that unless you're going to heat your home with an electricity charge device, which doesn't make any sense. All right, so at least these guys said at the very outset, I'm embarrassed for these people, and I'm embarrassed for you in the solar industry, because solar is a good thing. But when you guys overpromise, either by being shysters or by ignorance, you're going to piss everybody off. And when everyone gets pissed off, they're going to say, I'm not touching solar because it's snake oil stuff. All right, so here's the way it works. See that right there? That is the sky. The sun in the sky at 12 o'clock with no clouds. It will shine about roughly 1,000. It'll give us about 1,000 watts of energy per square meter. Square meter is a lot bigger than you might think. Let's just put it that way. I can't remember off the top of my head. I want to say it's 8.7 feet, I think, total. I forgot what it was. But anyway, a square meter, that's a lot of space. You're getting 1,000 watts on a square meter when the sun is at its peak with no clouds. So we're going to take your typical solar photovoltaic panel, and we're going to say it's 20% efficient, all right? That means you're going to get 200 watts. That's what you're getting. So you're going to do one of two things with that. You're either going to store it into a battery, or you're going to use it. One of those two things. That's it. Now at 6 o'clock, right now it's 7, you can see the sun's going down there. Let's see. I think you'll be able to see it right there. You're not getting much. You're not getting 1,000 watts per square meter. You're not. So you can quickly figure out how this works. How much wattage per square meter on an average 24-hour day? In Atlanta, it's about 170 watts. Los Angeles, about 230. Portland, Maine, is about 140. So you just use Atlanta. We're getting, on average, on any given day, 24 hours, 170 watts per meter squared. That's what we're getting from the good old sun. Mr. Sun up there. All right, let's just say we have a 20% efficiency. Let's see, 20% divided, so 170 divided by 5, I think it's 45, because I've done it so many times. If I'm off, who cares? That's roughly 45 watts we're converting to electricity, all right, because it has a 20% efficiency. Now, these guys are saying that they think they can get ultimately 87% efficiency. My friends, can we just stop with that? Even my man Alberto, who I don't know him other than YouTube, but I love him. He's a good guy. Even he was saying we're going to get well above, 40% efficiency, I think is what he's saying. And he's got solar. I mean, he's a true believer, as am I. You're not getting it, man. You're not. Yes, we got to look at the physics of how this stuff works. It's not getting. Yes, you could get in a lab. You're never going to get that for you to put up here on the rooftop. At most, maybe 30% efficiency. Then how much do those photovoltaic panels cost? All right, so let's just go back to a typical 20% efficiency. You're getting 170 watts per square meter per 24-hour period. At which you're going to convert 45 watts of that into electricity that you can use. So essentially, 45 times 24, I think it's like 1.5. So for every solar square meter photovoltaic panel here in Atlanta that's 20% efficient, you're getting 1.5 kilowatt hours of usage. All right, 1.5. Now I've already showed you If you're running 60 watt bulbs, that alone right there is going to eat up all, just that one bulb. That's why you can't have incandescent light bulbs. And it makes sense. I mean, it's stupid to have incandescent light bulbs if you're using solar photovoltaic. You can't, because that one 60 watt bulb is going to eat up all the electricity that you've been able to generate, either directly from the sun, that you're powering your lights right there while the sun's up, which you're probably not doing, or you're putting into a battery. That's it. So you don't want those, you want LED lights. But at the end of the day, it just shows you that 1 square meter of space. And again, I think I said it's 9 square feet is what it is. That's a big space, my friends. That's a big space for 1.4 kilowatt hours in the course of 24 hours. All right, total now. So now we take 10, all right, we got 10 photovoltaic 1 meter square panels. I don't even know what the distance is on that, but that's 10 meters squared. So if each panel is 9, I think I said 9 square feet, that's what's that, 9 times, I don't even know what it'd be, 9 times 10, I guess 90 square feet. So 90 square feet, that's a big space. All right, what will that give you over the course of your day? That'll give you, what's that, 1.4 times 14.4 kilowatt hours of electricity you could use, which is fantastic. That's fantastic. Other than the fact is, you're not going to use it during the day, so you're going to have a pretty significant battery bank, which is fine. That's what solars do. You have a pretty significant power bank, and I don't even know how big 10 square meters is in terms of footage. But you're not doing it if you're living in an apartment. You're not doing it if you live in a condo. You're not doing it if you live in like a Phoenix, Arizona, where they got these houses up on top of each other. You're not doing it there. Or if you're not doing it in Boston or Northeast, like when I was growing up, we lived in the first floor and our neighbors lived on the second floor, because I don't know what they call it, like one house has 2 families living in it. Some people up in Maine have one house that's 3 or 4 families in it. You're not doing it there because each family unit has its own specific needs, electrical needs, of a load essentially. All right, so you're not getting 87% efficiency. It's just silly to say that. You cannot mix up energy versus electricity, because we're not even talking about hot water. We're not even talking about heating the house. Yeah, I guess you could be talking about AC, air conditioning. I don't know what the load is on AC and air conditioning. And if you look, man, if you can get 10 PV panels up on your roof, or even better, on your yard, well, that's great. But then what can't you use for your yard? If you have those photovoltaic panels there, you can't use it for farming. I mean, to some degree, you could probably farm a little bit, but you're gonna have a huge space that can't be farmed because the panels take up all that space. And inherently, they're gonna keep the sun rays from shining on your crops. The same thing with solar thermal. And I mean, that's the thing, all these guys who love solar, they love the idea more than I think they understand reality. If you're using solar for electricity, you're inherently not using it to warm up your water. You're inherently not using it for other solar thermal things, which are so much more efficient than converting into electricity. You're not. So let's just go back to, we need 10 square meter photovoltaic panels at 20% efficiency. And look, let's just say it costs $30,000. I don't care. Can you get your money's worth? Yes, absolutely. I don't care about the break even though. I mean, I do. I think it's great. I think you should do it while you got free cash flow, 100%. Because anything you can spend now while you're living large with a nice salary is money you won't have to spend when you're retiring, for sure. The problem with solar photovoltaic is it is opportunity cost. If I take my panels for electricity, inherently I cannot use that space for other things. That is probably a good thing. I would still do it. I'm gonna do it when I get my whatever we end up living in. I will absolutely do it because I love the idea of prepaying the freaking utility bill while I got positive cash flow coming in from work. And you should do the same, because we know what happens is when you retire and you're living off your Social Security pension or your savings, you're gonna be a whole lot less prone to have a big outflow, because this is just mental accounting that Richard Thaler talked about when he won his Nobel Prize. I don't want to spend from principal, but while you're working, You're not spending from principal, you're spending from what's called income or a salary. So you're more inclined to take on a debt to put panels on your house. Man, I got no problem with it at all. But these people are talking as if your entire energy bill is going to be covered. It's not. It's not. To say that is, I don't, oh man. It's not. And the funny thing is, you know me, I say, you can't fly, be green. These guys are here in Atlanta. They're getting ready to go to Portland, Maine to do a seminar. I think that these guys are through NPR, which still ticks me off, man. I was like, why is NPR? And because these guys are talking about, oh, we love the Union of Concerned Scientists. Union of Concerned Scientists is a bunch of frauds, man. There's no other way around that. Frauds, fakers, just fear mongers. And the minute I heard that, I said, why? And I don't know if these guys are NPR or not. I just know a lot of these NPR guys are left-wing advocacy groups that are getting taxpayer funding, and that's not right. Anyway, so I'm sitting there thinking, the minute I heard that in the first 2 minutes, I was like, oh boy, here we go. But they're intermingling solar or photovoltaic with energy, or electricity with energy. You can't do that. I mean, you can, but you're missing the boat. And secondly, well, then on top of that, the efficiency is silly. You're not getting all your energy from solar photovoltaic. It's not happening. And lastly, how are they getting to Portland, Maine? Huh? Are they taking Portland, Maine with a plane that flies on battery power? No. So inherently, they just disproved their own argument. You are not getting all your energy from solar photovoltaic. And look, man, I get it. They don't know, but they're coming across like they've done this decent research on this. It's very wonky, they said. It's not that wonky. It's just not that wonky. We know for a fact, 1 square meter in the world gets about 1,000 watts of energy from the sun. We know that for a fact, on average. All right? On any given 24-hour day, because the sun isn't up 24 hours a day. I don't know if you did know that or not. And on top of that, sometimes they're cloud days, sometimes they're rainy days. On any given day in Atlanta, the average energy of watts, measured in watts that we get from the sun, is 170 watts per square meter. That's a fact. How much is the efficiency of your panel? Well, we know the efficiency can range from 20 to 25%. I can highly assure you 25% efficiency panels are going to be quite expensive. 20% will work just fine. That gives you 45 watts you're getting. You times that by 24 and you're getting 1.4 kilowatt hours a day is what you're getting on that solar photovoltaic panel. That doesn't pay for the cost for you to fly to Portland, Maine. It doesn't charge up your EV, your electric vehicle. It doesn't do anything. It just says if you have 9 more of those suckers, well, if you average 14.4 kilowatt hours a day, you're probably doing okay from an electrical perspective, but you're not heating your house. You're not cooking in your oven. I can't imagine you're cooking in your oven with that. I mean, I don't know. You'd have to run the numbers. But you're certainly not using hair dry. I hope you're not using hair dryers and all that. That wouldn't make any sense. I mean, you could. Don't get me wrong. You could. But again, you have to have a big battery bank. And you're certainly not heating your house with that. But for electricity, I mean, I got no qualm with that. You got to be facing south. You got to have enough space to put those panels up on your roof. Again, better would be in the yard. And you got to know you're going to have to replace these in 20 years. So I'm 60. I plan on retiring. Like 2 years from now, I'll take Social Security. I'm going to pay for some serious solar panels right now. Absolutely put those suckers up. Even if it doesn't reduce my entirety electric bill, it won't reduce all my utility bills. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Achoo! Achoo! Excuse me. Even if it doesn't reduce all my electric bill, maybe it comes pretty close. Still better than nothing. It won't reduce all of your utility bills, but still, I pay for that money up front. I'm locking those prices in. I think it's a good move financially. I just think, again, if you go in there thinking you're not going to have any energy bill, you're going to be sorely disappointed. And that's going to turn people off at solar like it was what I am. Because these guys are either ignoramuses or they're snakeskin salesmen. And don't be suckered in by these snakeskin salesmen, because we got enough of that in our world as it is. All right, I'm going to finish up my walk here. Woo! Good stuff, man. Here in Georgia, global warming is here because, boy, yeah, I think last 5 days been 95 and stuff. Humid as a freaking, oh my goodness. This must be what it feels like to live in Brazil. You can swim through the humidity. Whew. I don't like this. Whew, it's hot. It's hot and humid. Looking for the fall, man, that's for sure. That's why I love seeing the football helmets being strapped on. Not because I'm all that into football anymore, but because I love the fall. It's my favorite time of the year, man. I love the fall. All right, we'll see you next time.